Anyway, so welcome to Arts and Wellness Cafe. In this video, we are going to talk about the arts, creativity, reflections, art journals, slow stitching, and more. So, please join me. Well, hello and welcome to Arts and Wellness Cafe. We missed a month, didn't we? Well, we didn't miss a month. We had a break. So, before I go on, welcome, my name's Amanda and I'm your host for the Arts and Wellness Cafe. What are you drinking? I have got me a nice large bottle of water. It has been chilled, but it has been chilled. First thing in the morning, try and drink some warm water with a dash of lemon, and that's really good for your whole body. Anyway, so welcome. It's been a while. So I had decided to take a break last month. So it was well needed. So today we've got a lot to go through. The word for the month, some of the words for the month is limitless and pause. Now, limitless, the word limitless for me has been a word that I have taken through year after year, because I'll tell you when it first came to mind, and it was when that film Limitless came out, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I wonder if there is a pill that you can take that makes you, use every part of your brain. But the thought of being able to use every single part of your brain is just amazing. Think about the things that we can achieve. And takes for learning. You have to spend time learning, you have to spend time improving your craft, you have to spend time reading, exploring, researching. There isn't a when I get to this age then I'm going to stop. It's just like a lifelong thing. You live in, you breathe in, you're learning. And there's so many things about the planet that we live on that we can learn from. And so you have to make sure that you're putting in, time for reading, time for listening, time for reflecting and understanding, and learning something new on a regular basis. So what I would try and do is every year, I would take some sort of course. So I'm learning from other people, or I like reading non-fiction books. So once a year, I make sure that every year I do some sort of course. And since I've been teaching, I've been teaching for the last 5 years. So I'm teaching on platforms where there are sort of like 25 other teachers. So I'm always learning from the other teachers that are on the course that I'm on. And the word pause. So sometimes you have to take a step back. Now, I've talked previously about the taking a nap and taking time out, reflecting, and that is so important because we're living in times where everything is even more fast-paced. Even though we've had a slowdown, we've had a gigantic worldwide pause, and our thoughts go out to those who have lost loved ones and who are continuing to go through health challenges because of it, not only because of losing loved ones but through the illness themselves. And that's the other thing, even outside of the big giant pause that we've had, there were people who were passing every year anyway, and it's just like this constant cycle of, and some people lose multiple members of their family like month after month, and so we have to take time and reflect on that and just be thankful for what we have, where we are, who we have in our surroundings, and being able to give support to others and encouragement to others. So if you know somebody who has lost a loved one or is going through it themselves, please try and reach out to them and let them know that they're still being remembered, that there's somebody there who they can lean on. So the other pause that I had to take was the just, sometimes you can't do sometimes you can't do everything, and so in the striving to do so many things and be in so many places, you can feel yourself becoming burnt out. And I think that's what I was doing. It was just like I was filming for a course that I'll tell you about, which I've been sharing, and I was filming. It was just so much. I didn't realise how much filming the course was going to take out of me, and all the things that I wanted to put in. And then there was just like, I'd do one lesson, I would create one lesson, and then it was just like, no, but that needs another 3 other sessions there. And that's how it was throughout it's a 4-week course. I had to take a pause in some things, and sadly the Arts and Wellness Café took the hit for the cause. And so we've come back we're going into the month where we would reflect on what we've done. So March, for me, reflect on what I've done and look forward to what I want, how I want things to shape up for the rest of the year. So looking forward to the rest of the year and sharing different insights with you and understandings, and helping you to develop in your creative practice and sharing the work of others, and just building a community who is supporting and encouraging each other. That's really what it's about. Okay, so now we're going to be going on to look further at this art journal that I did. It's a phone case journal, and I want to share with you some of the pages, and if you're lucky I'll even show you a process page but we'll probably have a flip through of this page. So come on, let's go. Here we go. Here we have my phone journal. I shared some pictures of it on Instagram. So this is a phone case, and I've created a journal from it. So we're going to do a flip through of it. thing about this, the thing that I really like about this journal was there's so many small elements that you then get to use in a smaller journal, and you know, like the tags and things like that, and the little elements that I've put on, some of the wording and things like that. So I really liked creating this journal, and it's complete now. I think there may be one page I could, you know, maybe think of doing something, but it does have, this says explore, imagine, dream on it. It's a stamp, so we'll see. But yeah, that was a really nice little journal, reusing a phone case, and you see the little music element on the front. Okay, so next up we're going to be looking at an initiative by the arts community here in Barbados, and it's an auction of artists' work for Fran. It's called Art for Fran. So let's take a look. Art for Fran is an online auction on Friday the 4th of March 9 AM to Sunday the 6th of March. The Artist Alliance of Barbados and the Art Splash Gallery will be hosting the online auction on Facebook as a fundraising event for Fran Wickham Jacobs, a friend, cultural practitioner and former manager of the Frank Collymore Hall. Fran has been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer and is in need of the funds to pay for urgent treatment. The curators Lois Crawford and Onika Small can be contacted on either, for Lois, 233-0517 and Onika Small 822-3694, and their emails are there. Artists are donating 60% of the money received for the sale of their work, and they will be in contact with you directly after the piece that you've wanted to buy has been purchased. The bidding, there will be a soft ending involved which allows the bidder to increase their bids within a 5-minute grace period, and at the end of the auction you will be notified. Yes, so a very worthy cause indeed. Remember the 4th to the 6th of March, and you'll be able to go onto Facebook. I'll put all the links in the description, and you'll be able to, on the day, bid on the piece of art that you like. Okay. And you would discuss, if you're from overseas, you would discuss the shipping and handling costs with the artist directly. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you is one of my stitched projects. Every month I share a stitched project. I've been doing stitching throughout the, I do it continuously, and I work on different projects all the time. And yeah, I thought I would share some with you. This is it's in my little hoop at the moment, but let me take it out. I think I'm on the final bits of embroidery, and what I'm going to show you is we're going to do a bit together, so you'll be able to see how I'm working on this. And yeah, so let's have a look. So I thought I'd spend some time on this piece, and I'm going to do some stitching. And what I normally do sometimes is I'll either stitch while I'm, you know, sitting there watching TV, or I will listen to an audiobook. And what I'm going to be working on today is, I've just been going around the cheeks. I'm going to be going around her lips and then seeing what else is speaking to me. So these areas are speaking to me, to go around these areas with the white thread, and then I may go around her body and the outside again. I've just done a straight stitch, but I'm thinking I might close up the gap. So we're finished for now. I have gone around, as you would have seen, all of the edges. I'm still debating this particular section. I probably will in the end. I'll probably just sit down in the evening and do that bit. And I like the kind of swirls. I'll add to the swirls with maybe some circles in them. So I'll just take another few more days to add, and then what I'm going to do is look for some material that I can add at the back, and I'm going to go in with some machine stitch and add maybe some machine stitch around these parts, and yeah, just add this. I'm thinking about in here as well. Just add in some thread. Maybe the colour that this is here, I'm not sure, because it has puckered a bit because of the kind of material it is. So I am really enjoying this piece. I'm seeing it come to fruition. What started out as a sketch and has now turned into a really lovely stitch piece. But I would love I haven't yet found one yet. I would love to have one of those. It's like a stand, and you put the work on, and I think it's even got a light. So that would be the next thing that I bring into the studio. Okay, so now it's time for tip for the week. So in tip for the week, it's writing down your ideas. So we can, try and amass all of this, we amass all of this knowledge and learning and understanding. And we have all these ideas, and sometimes we don't know what to do with it. So one of the best things is get yourself a little journal or a big one. And write down your ideas. I've got several of these journals. I'm always writing down notes and things like that. And it's a good place to just park your thoughts and then come back to them, because if you keep them in your head, more than likely you will forget. Especially those nuggets that you think, oh my gosh, that's a really great idea. If you can't work on it there and then, write down as much as you can and put it on paper. So I've done that with courses. Since I've created my own course, I mean, I do lessons all the time for other courses, but doing your own course is so much more, there's so much more to it. But I had all these other courses just coming at me, and it was just like, I'd stop and I think, oh, let me, go into this. And it was just like, no, you need to finish the first one you're doing. And so writing down my ideas, writing down my thoughts, writing down things that I wanted to work on was really, really helpful. So that is the tip. Write down your ideas, and then you can come back to them and spend some time on them. Don't sell yourself short, don't sell your time short. It's worth the time that you're going to put in, so make sure you can give it your undivided attention when you then go back and sit and work on it. So that's tip for the week. Now so I'm still playing with this. On one of your lists, you may have written all these books you want to look at and review. So let's go and see what book we're reviewing today. This is by Quarry Books, and it's part of their series. They have a series of drawing lab books done in the similar sort of way, and it's split up into 7 units, and each unit has about 8 labs, and there's 52 labs, so you can do 1 a week if you want and go through. And so in the contents, it goes through, so we've got inspired by animals, people, famous artists, children and childhood, imagination, nature, and then inspired by books and culture. And there's some amazing artwork that we can see in here. And so this is mixed media, and it's just beautiful when you think about some of the imagery, and it tells you the materials, instructions, and then it gives you some ideas on taking it further. And the best thing that you would do or should do is just practice and keep doing it. And as I say, you can do a lab, you can do it a day, or you can do it a week, and it's probably best for you to take 1 a week and go through it and practice. And I did one of her courses a while back, and I did some crazy fun animals, and it was great just to play and practice. And here's some that I did, like you just do splodges, and then you find the animal in there, you create an animal. And if I think to myself, if I would look at this, a fish, lay down some papers. This was washi tape, and then found a fish in there. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have normally drawn a fish like this, or a what was this? An owl. See, I wouldn't necessarily have drawn this, but I've gone through it, and you come up with some really interesting characters and faces, and it gets you out of feeling restricted, but it also gives you some really interesting way to work. So it's definitely one that you should take a look at, and that's Drawing Lab.
Quick question.
So, question for today is there a tool that you really want to use, and why? So think about, think about the tools that you've got. So it's not a tool that you already have. It may be a tool that somebody else has. And think about why you want it. If you're on the verge of making that purchase, think about why you want it, what you're going to use it for, and how it would benefit your art practice. Now, the one that I had initially been sitting on was, I think it's a silhouette. I don't even think that the silhouette is the newest one on the market now. It's by Cricut. Now, I have got a Cricut, and I don't use it as often as I could, but this one, I don't know, it's a massive big machine. I've seen it online on other artists' Instagram pages where, it cuts through everything. And I had this thought, oh yeah, I want one of those. It can cut through everything, and you can make this one lady who I saw her cut through this foam and made these really intricate stamps. It was just like, whoa, oh my gosh. And so that was one of the machines that I would really like. But then I thought to myself, well, you're going through the 100-day project, and you're sharing the foam stamps that you've been making and that you're going to make for the rest of the 100 days. So why, do you really need that now? So it was just like, okay, all right, no. And then it was like, and on top of that, you've got stamps that you brought from the shop. I haven't brought any in the last few years, so these are all the ones that I brought, and I need to go through those. And it was just like, yeah, so you need to go through those. You've got these 100 stamps, foam stamps that you've created and you're doing this project on. You've got probably another 30 or 40 stamps that new ones that you'll probably, because I've still got foam left, that before the end of this 100-day project I'll probably have like 150 foam stamps, and then you've got shop brought stamps, and you've got stencils, and you do mark making. So really, do you need this thing to cut out foam stamps if that's what you were getting it for? So I said, okay, no. So the thing that I really do need is a new camera. So that was the tool that I think I really need. I mean, mine's like 6 years old, and I'm finding, so I'm just fixing my leg under the table, but I'm finding that, every now and again it has issues. So getting an upgraded one is what I really need to focus on. So it's just like, okay, yeah, that's probably the best purchase you could make right now, because you do a lot of filming and a lot of editing. So think about that thing that you said, oh, I really must, and really think about why it is you want it. Do you really need it? And is there something else that, actually you need more, that you may need to focus your sights on? And yeah, because I don't need any more stamps. I really don't need to cut out any more stamps. And I'm not making I'm not making the things that I would potentially use that for. And if I do need something to cut out card, then I've got my old Cricut that's just sitting there saying, you've neglected me. That's one of my neglected tools. I think it was like one of those shiny toys, you played with it and then, okay, yeah, all right. Oh, there's a new one out. So, yeah, that's the question to ask yourself. Good question. So that's a question to ask yourself. And in talking about stamps, that's a nice segue into the 100-day project that I've been doing. So I'm on day 16 of the stamps. And so essentially what I've been doing is... over the years I've been making foam stamps, so all my stamps were just chucked in a container, or several containers, and so what I've done is I'm going through them, I'm looking to see, well, does this need to be refining, because they're maybe a year old or whatever, they've not been looked after, so clean up the stamp, the foam stamp, and go around it just to see, does it need to be, does it need to have, I'll show you this one. So something like this, does it need like the lines to be made more, better, more defined? And also put on a backing, whether it's a foam backing or a cardboard backing. And also have a record. So I've got this book, I've had this, I was gonna do some scrapbooking many years ago, and I brought all the supplies, and then I realised I didn't like it. I didn't do one page. Didn't do one page. I brought all the supplies, and so this was one of them. It's a photo scrapbook. So what I've done so far is my first couple of weeks, I printed them on paper, and I did the same with the stamp. So the back of the stamp, I know what it is. I can look in this book, and I've got the first few pages, so I've got my book of stamps. So when I'm thinking about doing some stamping on an art journal or a piece of work, I can look through here and see what ones I've got, and I will be making some new ones as well. Here's a sneak peek of a new one. There's a new one there. Yeah, and it's just really nice, and it's lovely having them ordered, and so I can say, okay, that's set 1, and it's all the hearts, and then all the kind of abstract shapes together, faces, flowers, birds, trees, houses. So they're all the main kind of stamps that I've got. So this definitely came in handy. So yeah, so this will be the first place I'll go when I need to look at the stamps, and then choose it and then locate it. It's just the only thing that I need is a place to house them, because as I say, now that they're not just the foam, it's the foam, the backing, and I'm thinking that I'll have to probably go over this stamped image is waterproof, but just go over it with some varnish or something like that. Maybe I'll use a spray varnish actually, just to coat it and just to protect the image. So that's my 100-day project, because sometimes you can just think, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I've got enough to do than to, be sharing 100 images of, or it'd be 200 images, because I share 2 per day of these foam stamps. And then what I've been doing is also a mini video of me working with the set of stamps on a piece of watercolour paper and just some simple supplies. So that, I really like that aspect of it. And what I'd like to do, as I think more and more, what I'd like to do with the stamps is provide some that other people can use. I'm not going to go into a production of making foam stamps, but have digital stamps that you can, download the images on, art paper and then use it in your art journal and such like. So we'll probably do some of that, or you can print it and then just use it as collage paper. So I'm looking forward, once I've kind of cleared the decks of some things, to doing that with the foam stamps. But I hope that you're enjoying looking at some of the foam stamps that I've created. There's lots of hints and tips and ways in which you can create foam stamps, and I've got just a mini tutorial, but this is on my Patreon. My Patreon's received a mini tutorial on how I make my foam stamps and some of the foams, different types of foam that I use. There's say 3 or 4 different types of foam, and I use either one of those embossing tools with a really fine point to kind of make the marks in there, a knife, and more recently I've been using it's my wood burning tool. Yeah, that's the 100-day project. So if you haven't yet joined, you can still join. Give yourself a challenge. You don't have to do the whole 100 days, but you may want to, do 50 or 7, 14, however many, it's up to you really. But stick to, try and stick to it, and don't make it so complicated that it becomes a chore. You want to turn up and feel excited about it. So make it something simple. And sometimes you can feel as if it's, oh no, this is too simple. Like I was thinking that about my foam stamps, and it was just like, yeah, but this is for you. Essentially what you want is, this is what you want to achieve out of it. I wanted to organise my foam stamps. I wanted to make sure they all had back ends, to make sure they were all, really clear. And I wanted to create the book. But what, people see on social media is they see, okay, they see the image of the stamp, and at the end of the week they see the art piece that you do, and it was just like, that is plenty, because you're doing other things as well. So yeah, if you're thinking of doing it, definitely you can join us or join in, or just come and hang out on my channel and see how I get on with my regular stamps. So the other thing that I'm really excited about is Filling the Creative Well, my new course. So if you haven't yet signed up, you can do so. The course is running for 4 weeks, and after that it becomes a self-directed course, so you can join in whenever you want. There is a Facebook group that you can also join, a private Facebook group for those people who've purchased the course, and you'll be able to connect with people there. So even after the end of March, when the course comes to an end, you can still be showing your work, and I'll be showing up every now and again just to kind of pop in and see how you're getting on, if you're new or whatever it is. Yeah, it's a nice way to connect with other artists, and also, you don't have to feel pressured into sharing your work. You can just come and show up and say how you felt about the course itself and a particular lesson, that were there any aha moments, and it's nice to be able to see other people's take on a particular lesson, and we all kind of get different things from the lessons, so it's nice to put that in. It's great for me, great feedback for me to see how people have been enjoying the work. So I hope you can join me, and you have lifetime access. There's loads. It's a full course. It really did. It really did take it out of me, but it's a lifelong thing. So just as I say, lifelong learning. When you take the course, the things that you then put into practice for yourself is a lifelong thing. It's not just for the 4 weeks. It's what is your creative practice? What is it that you do when you approach your, studio space or your creative space? What do you allow yourself to reflect on? What kind of questions are you asking yourself? What things do you need to put in place so that when you do show up, you can do something? And how do you break these things down? How do you, what things have you got that you can, if you've only got a short amount of time, that you can focus on? And are you then reflecting on that whole process, which you do in your journal for the course, which is here. So that's the journal, and we do, mandalas. We do mandalas with affirmations on. We do collages. We do collages on card, and we also do collages in our book. And this is one of those journals that you do go back and read, because it's your space that will give you encouragement. It will, if you need a word, the words are here. You've written in them, as I say, and it's, it's a continuous thing. It's continuous encouragement, and there are questions you put in that you answer. Where are the questions? There's questions here. There's about 21 questions that you answer. I can give you one. What is love? In what ways do you show love to yourself? So some of the questions are not necessarily about your creative practice, but like that one, how do you show love to yourself? Now, showing love for me is taking care of myself, nurturing myself. The way I nurture myself is in my studio space with my art supplies, in my art journal, playing with my supplies, creating a page, working with colour, researching something to do with my creativity. So that's one of the ways that I would nurture myself. So yeah, I hope you can join me, and I hope that you if it's not for you, maybe you can think of somebody else that you think may benefit from the course, because at the end of the day, creativity, I think we have to be doing something creative every day. And if it's not for you, come onto my YouTube channel. You can see some of the stuff I do there, or my blog, or I'm in quite a few places, so you can come and be inspired. Come on my Pinterest. I've got loads of boards that I pin to, and pin things that I'm inspired by and interested in doing. So yeah, I hope you can join us on the course. And each week the work for that week is released, and you can go as quickly or as slow as you want, but I would say pace yourself, and because what you're building is a practice. So you're not only working through the activities that are there, you're actually building your practice. How many times do you spend in your art journal? This is a lifelong practice, not, as I say, again, just for 4 weeks. So, if you're speaking encouraging words over yourself in that first week, you need to be doing it in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and way past the course. So, you don't rush through things. If you do the course, you're encouraged not to rush through things. The weeks will come and go, but as I say, there's lifelong access for you to take your time into it. So there are a lot of other courses that I'm teaching on that I would like to share with you, that are in the process of going. Now we've come, last month was my month for sharing on Book of Days. I've also got the One Badass Art Journal workshop, which is in full flow. So I've got a lesson on there. The Creating, Loving and Healing Summit starts tomorrow. So every day I think there's 2 artists every day that their videos are released, and you have 3 days access to them, and I'll leave the links below as well. So I've got a lovely workshop for you to do there. Sometimes less is more. So let's also bring in and remind ourselves about the word for the main words for this month, which is limitless and pause. You know, sometimes you need to take it back to basics and really kind of take your time to work through something. And that's what I was saying about my course, is that you need to, yes, you've got, the course is over 4 weeks. I mean, it could have been done over a year, but I think a lot of people find it difficult. I don't know, do they? No, because, you know, people are doing the Book of Days, and that's a year's course. But I guess a year of solely me. I think when you've got different artists, it throws in different dynamics. So, but what I've tried to do in my course is give you a good set of different things that you can do to keep you not only engaged but reminded that this is about your creative practice, and what you do after this is really important. So the pause is, you know, well, what do I need to reflect on? What do I need to, you know, now I'm going into another month. What is it I want for this month? What is it I want to create? What is it I want to build? Yeah, and remember that you have access to limitless resources. You know, you hear lots of artists talk about going shopping in their own stash. And because it's amazing how many things you buy over time and you don't use them, and they get pushed to the back and you forget that they're there and they dry up. As in my experience, especially with my inks. But if you reintroduce yourself to them, you realise, oh my goodness, this has been here all this time. You know, or I've got several different supplies that all do the same thing. They're all water-soluble crayons, and they're all kind of pretty much, in terms of quality, pretty much the same. I know what my favourite ones are. So I'm not saying that they are all the same. I'm saying they have similar qualities depending on what you're going to use them for. So it's definitely worthwhile, you know, to just constantly reflect and think about the things that you want to achieve. And with that said, how are you going to play out the rest of this month? You know, some of you are going to be with me on this month-long journey of filling the creative well, filling your creative well. Some of you will be on the journey with me of 100-day project, 100 days of foam. Some will be weekly here with me with the videos that I create and produce. And I just like to say thank you for joining me on this journey. And you're always welcome, and you're welcome to come over and check out my Patreon page. I do have things for people who haven't signed up for Patreon, so you know, come over and see what I'm sharing there as well. I have a blog as well, so you know, in any one of those places it would be great to have you. So just as a reminder as we go out, if you haven't yet subscribed, if you've got this far and you're still not a subscriber, why not subscribe? Think about subscribing. In one of my videos previously, I shared that if you join my mailing list, you get a free art tag, art tags. It's a booklet of different tags that you can create, and some downloadable taster pack. So sign up to the mailing list and you'll get a free gift from me. So thank you for joining me this month for Arts and Wellness Cafe, and I hope you have a really blessed month. If there's any questions or things you'd like me to cover, please do leave a comment below and let me know. Yeah, let me know how you're getting on. Let me know if you've answered those questions, you know, well, what is the tool that you really want, and are you the sort of person that writes down your ideas and thoughts, and how does that work out for you? Okay, so I will see you again next month for Arts and Wellness Cafe, but I will see you further along during the week for another video. So take care for now.